Hey everyone, welcome back to Empowerment Library, the place where we break down powerful books that shape your mindset, boost your financial intelligence, and transform your life. In our last episode, we explored Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, where we uncovered the secrets of financial independence, the difference between assets and liabilities, and why the rich keep getting richer. If you missed it, be sure to check it out. Today, we're diving into another game-changing book, Atomic Habits by James Clear. This book isn't just about setting goals. It's about creating a system for continuous improvement. We'll uncover how tiny changes can lead to massive results and how you can build habits that stick while breaking the ones that hold you back. So, get ready to unlock the power of small, consistent actions. Let's jump right in.
Introduction to Atomic Habits by James Clear. Atomic Habits is a groundbreaking exploration of how small, consistent actions can lead to extraordinary personal and professional transformation. James Clear, a leading expert on habit formation, dismantles the myth of overnight success, revealing instead the power of incremental progress, the compounding effect of getting just 1% better every day. Through compelling research, real-world examples, and actionable strategies, Clear demonstrates that lasting change isn't about willpower or grand resolutions but about designing systems that make success inevitable. At its core, Atomic Habits presents a simple but revolutionary idea. Tiny habits, when repeated consistently, accumulate into life-altering results. Whether you want to improve your health, productivity, relationships, or creativity, the key lies not in setting ambitious goals but in mastering the small, everyday behaviors that shape who you become. Clear introduces his 4 laws of behavior change, a science-backed framework for building good habits and breaking bad ones, while emphasizing the critical role of identity, how shifting your self-perception can make new behaviors stick. From the British cycling team's Olympic dominance through marginal gains to personal stories of transformation, Atomic Habits offers both inspiration and practical tools. It challenges conventional wisdom about motivation, willpower, and talent, proving instead that environment, consistency, and smart systems are the true drivers of success. This book is for anyone who has ever struggled to maintain New Year's resolutions, felt stuck in unproductive cycles, or doubted their ability to change. Clear's insights will teach you how to make good habits effortless and bad habits difficult. Design your surroundings to support your goals. Stay motivated through the plateau of latent potential. Build an identity that reinforces your desired outcomes. Atomic Habits isn't just about doing things differently, it's about becoming someone different, one small step at a time. If you're ready to move beyond temporary fixes and create lasting change, this book provides the blueprint. Success isn't an event, it's the inevitable result of daily habits.
Chapter 1. The Surprising Power of Tiny Habits. James Clear opens by challenging our obsession with overnight success, demonstrating how small, consistent improvements compound into remarkable results. He introduces the 1% rule, the idea that getting just 1% better daily leads to 37x improvement over a year. The chapter features the British cycling team's transformation through aggregation of marginal gains, where hundreds of tiny optimizations, like better handwashing and improved sleep, led to Olympic gold medals. Clear emphasizes that habits are the compound interest of self-improvement, and success comes from systems rather than goals alone. Chapter 2. How your habits shape your identity. This chapter explores the 3 layers of behavior change: outcomes, what you get; processes, what you do; and identity, what you believe. Clear argues that lasting change requires identity shifts. We must become the type of person who achieves those results. For example, 2 people quitting smoking take different approaches. I'm trying to quit, outcome-focused, versus I'm not a smoker, identity-focused. Every small action is a vote for your future self, and the most effective habits are those aligned with your desired identity. Chapter 3. The 4 Laws of Behavior Change. Clear presents his core framework, the 4-stage habit loop: cue, craving, response, reward, and corresponding laws for building good habits. 1. Make it obvious. 2. Make it attractive. 3. Make it easy, and 4. Make it satisfying. To break bad habits, invert these laws. The chapter introduces practical techniques like implementation intentions, I will, behavior at, time in location, and habit stacking, after current habit, I will, new habit. Chapter 4, The Man Who Didn't Look Right. Using a powerful story about a subway worker's instincts saving lives, Clear explains how habits become automatic through repetition. He introduces the habit scorecard, a simple exercise where you list daily behaviors and label them as effective, ineffective, or neutral. The chapter emphasizes that awareness precedes change, and techniques like pointing and calling, verbally noting actions, can help interrupt automatic behaviors. Chapter 5, The Best Way to Start a New Habit. This practical chapter expands on habit formation strategies. Clear explains how habit stacking, pairing new habits with existing ones, and implementation intentions, specific plans, dramatically increase success rates. He shares examples like a novelist who started with write 50 words after breakfast and finished a book, demonstrating how small commitments build momentum. The key insight: clarity beats motivation. Knowing exactly when and where to act removes friction. Chapter 6, Motivation is Overrated. Environment Matters More. Clear debunks the willpower myth, showing how our surroundings shape behavior more than motivation. He presents studies proving that people eat more when food is visible and perform better in organized spaces. The solution: design environments that make good habits obvious and bad habits invisible. Practical tips include creating dedicated spaces for specific activities, like a reading chair, and removing visual cues for unwanted behaviors. Chapter 7, The Secret to Self-Control. The most effective self-control strategy isn't willpower, it's avoiding temptation altogether. Clear shares examples like Victor Hugo writing naked to avoid distractions and modern apps that block social media. He introduces the concept of commitment devices, choices that lock in future behavior, like buying food in individual portions. The takeaway: discipline is about designing your environment so the right choices are automatic. Chapter 8, How to Make a Habit Irresistible. This chapter explores how dopamine drives habit formation by creating anticipation. Clear introduces temptation bundling, pairing something you need to do with something you want to do, like only watching Netflix while exercising. He also explains how social norms shape our habits. We tend to adopt behaviors praised by our cultural group. Practical applications include joining communities where your desired behavior is normal. Chapter 9, The Role of Family and Friends in Shaping Your Habits. Clear presents research showing we imitate those close to us, like the 57% increased likelihood of gaining weight if a friend does. He suggests conducting a social audit, evaluating whether your inner circle supports your goals. The solution isn't necessarily cutting people out, but strategically spending more time with those whose habits you want to adopt and creating accountability systems. Chapter 10, How to Find and Fix the Causes of Your Bad Habits. Every habit satisfies a craving. This chapter teaches readers to identify the underlying needs driving bad habits, stress relief, social connection, etc., and find healthier substitutes. Clear shares examples like replacing late-night snacking with herbal tea and phone calls to friends. The key insight: you can't eliminate bad habits, you must replace them with better solutions to the same underlying needs.
Chapter 11, Walk Slowly, but Never Backward. Clear emphasizes consistency over intensity, introducing the 2-day rule, never miss twice. He shares examples of writers who committed to absurdly small daily actions, like 50 words, and eventually completed major projects. The chapter introduces the concept of minimum viable habits, starting so small that consistency becomes easy. The powerful message: motion isn't action, planning isn't doing. Chapter 12, The Law of Least Effort. Human behavior follows the path of least resistance. Clear shows how reducing friction makes habits stick, like keeping a water bottle nearby to drink more. Conversely, increasing friction helps break habits, like unplugging the TV after use. He shares case studies of people who automated savings or meal prepped on Sundays to make good habits inevitable. The takeaway: design your life so the right things are easy. Chapter 13, The 2-Minute Rule. This chapter expands on starting small. Clear suggests scaling habits down to 2-minute versions. Read before bed becomes read one page. These gateway habits build identity and often naturally expand. He shares examples like a teacher who started with put on running shoes and eventually ran half marathons. The strategy works because it overcomes the initial resistance to starting. Chapter 14: How to Make Good Habits Inevitable and Bad Habits Impossible. Clear discusses automation and commitment devices. Examples include automatic savings transfers, meal delivery services, and apps that block distractions. He shares the story of a startup founder who used StickK to commit $1,000 to charity if he missed workouts, resulting in a 200-day streak. The message: don't rely on willpower when you can design accountability. Chapter 15: The Cardinal Rule of Behavior Change. Habits need immediate rewards to stick. Clear explains how to hack this with techniques like a savings jar for workouts or habit contracts with penalties. He shares research showing that immediate rewards, even small ones, triple habit formation rates. The chapter includes practical templates for creating reward systems that reinforce good behaviors. Chapter 16: How to Stick with Good Habits Every Day. This chapter focuses on habit tracking, one of Clear's most recommended strategies. He explains how visual measures, like marking an X on a calendar, create satisfying feedback loops. The chapter warns against perfectionism, missing once is fine, and introduces advanced techniques like habit stacking with tracking. Clear shares inspiring examples of people who transformed their lives through simple streak maintenance. Chapter 17: How an Accountability Partner Can Change Everything. Clear presents research showing that sharing goals increases success rates by 65%. He explores different accountability systems, peer contracts, public commitments, and group challenges. The chapter features tools like FocusMate, virtual co-working, and shares the story of a novelist who hired an accountability coach to finish her manuscript. The key insight: we perform better when someone is watching. Chapter 18: The Truth About Talent, When Genes Matter and When They Don't. This nuanced chapter examines how genes influence our talent hotspots, areas where we're naturally predisposed to succeed. Clear suggests identifying these zones through tools like StrengthsFinder, then designing habits around them. However, he emphasizes that deliberate practice can develop skills in any area, sharing the 10,000-hour rule research. The balanced takeaway: play to your strengths, but don't let genetics limit your potential. Chapter 19: The Goldilocks Rule, How to Stay Motivated in Life and Work. Clear explains that motivation peaks when challenges are just right, not too hard, not too easy. He introduces the concept of progressive overload, gradually increasing difficulty, like adding 5% to weights weekly. The chapter shares inspiring examples of people who maintained motivation through novelty and micro-challenges, like a guitarist learning incrementally harder songs. The message: habits need to remain engaging to last. Chapter 20: The Downside of Creating Good Habits. The final chapter offers an important counterpoint: habits can create rigidity. Clear warns against autopilot mode, where we stop questioning our routines. He suggests regular habit audits and occasional experimentation with new approaches. The chapter ends by emphasizing that habits are tools, not chains. They should serve our goals, not define them. The ultimate message: small, smart changes create extraordinary results when sustained over time.
In the concluding chapters of Atomic Habits, James Clear powerfully reinforces his central thesis. Transformative change doesn't require dramatic overhauls, but rather the consistent application of small, manageable habits. He emphasizes that our daily behaviors are not just actions but votes for the type of person we wish to become, gradually shaping our identity through repeated practice. The book's final synthesis reminds us that success is a lagging measure of habits. What appears as overnight success is actually the culmination of countless small improvements compounded over time. Clear returns to his foundational framework of the 4 laws of behavior change, showing how making habits obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying creates an environment where good behaviors thrive naturally. He warns against complacency in our habit systems, encouraging periodic reviews to ensure our routines continue serving our evolving goals. The conclusion drives home that willpower is an unreliable strategy compared to well-designed systems, and that the most effective approach is making desired behaviors so easy they're nearly impossible to avoid. Ultimately, Clear leaves readers with both a profound insight and practical encouragement. By focusing on just 1% improvements daily, anyone can achieve remarkable transformations, not through sheer force of will, but through the patient, persistent application of atomic habits that align with who they aspire to be. The book closes not with a grandiose promise, but with an empowering truth that small, consistent actions, sustained over time, have the power to remake our lives.
And that's a wrap on Atomic Habits. We've seen how small, consistent actions can lead to massive transformations. Now it's time to put those insights into practice and start making real changes in our daily lives. Remember, success isn't about sudden leaps, it's about the power of tiny habits stacking up over time. But we're not stopping here. Next up, we're diving into The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F*** by Mark Manson, a book that challenges everything we know about happiness, success, and what truly matters in life. It's bold, refreshing, and brutally honest, so you won't want to miss it. If you found this breakdown valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more life-changing book summaries. Drop a comment below. What's one habit you're going to build starting today? Let's grow together. See you in the next video.